Greetings, fellow test subjects. Test subject 1337 here for Aperture Gaming. They make it, we test it, you play it. And, and today we are going to review Just Cause 3. Now, before I get into the main review itself, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the review of Just Cause 2 as done by Zero Punctuation's Yahtzee. Now, he reviewed this game and he liked it. He pointed out some glitches and stuff he'd like to patch and fix the game with, but he liked it so much it was actually #1 on his top 5 games of that year. So yeah, and I have good news. Zero Punctuation? Apparently someone was listening to you. Okay, now I've never played Just Cause, any of the series. I never played the first one. The second one I only heard about from his review. And after playing this third game, I'm hesitant to go back to play the previous one because this game was just so awesome. I'm worried about how I'd interact with the previous game that had some flaws and issues with it. Yahtzee's main point out he had 2 major gripes that he would have patched. The first patch was he'd make it so you could order multiple things from weapons and item drops instead of just one thing at a time. Like, let's say if you wanted a car, 10 explosives, and a sniper rifle, you'd have to order all 3 of those things separately. First the car, it comes and leaves, then the explosions, the drop-off comes and leaves, and then the sniper comes in. You can actually order multiple items all at the same time. The other thing he asked is that if you get an upgrade for something, it should be available for all things, not just, like if you upgrade a car, the upgrade should be available for all cars of that make and model, not just ones that you have to capture or re-steal or pay money for. I am proud to say that any and all upgrades that you get apply across everything. It's not isolated to just the one specific thing you have to capture or the one thing you have to buy. So, thank you, Yahtzee. Someone listened to your complaints or suggestions or ideas, and they made them come true. The story for Just Cause 3, it takes place sometime after the events of Just Cause 2. The world's greatest evil dictator toppler guy, Rico Rodriguez, has returned to his home island nation to find out is now being corrupted, is now being taken over and led by a corrupt military dictator. And what's he going to do in this situation? Well, one of the factors about this game I liked is how everything blows up. Seriously, that's pretty much the goal of the game. If anything so much as looks at you funny, you can just blow it up. Either with bullets, grenades, rocket launchers, or by using your special grapple arm. This game is really interesting. It feels like a mix of Far Cry, Batman, Spider-Man, and obviously Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Yeah, now this game did exist long before the Syndicate, but I'm just liking how this game reminds me of so many different elements. Like you have to liberate areas by destroying a certain number of things, and you can do it all while flying around on your stunt parachute or your glider wings. Or you can fly in with an airplane or a helicopter, drive in with a boat or a jeep or any land vehicle. I like the variety of travel because the place is huge. You have multiple separate islands which can be reached either by land, sea, or air. Interesting variety. The game is also really good. It has like secrets for you to find, like altars. You can find secret tapes, collectibles to unlock items or weapons or vehicles. And they have challenges where, like, after you free a location, you can then see how far can you glide on a parachute, how far can you drive, how fast can you do this time trial of a racetrack. And if you connect to online, you can have, there's like an online challenge board where, like, longest distance you can go with a grappling hook shot without touching the ground. It's pretty interesting to see how well you do against other people. It's an interesting competition. Honestly, I've never thought I'd see... This game comes to us from Avalanche Studios, and it's a Square Enix production, and I was like, oh man, I know Square Enix mostly from like Final Fantasy games, so this is interesting to see how they've come up with how it works for seeing a game of this level of action and stuff. There's one interesting thing that I've been playing so many other different types of games for so long that when I first started playing this I was like, why can't I crouch and hide behind stuff? But then I realized what this game was about. You don't get credits for like stealthiness or for being sneaky. You get credits for how much chaos, bedlam, and mayhem you can cause. And the game is basically running and gunning, so the more chaos, panic, disorder, and destruction you cause, the higher of a score multiplier you get. You get stars for missions, and you get gears in challenges to unlock upgrades for you, your vehicles, and your weapons. So this game, it is really good, and I like how they did fix the issues that Yahtzee was talking about, but there are some downsides to this game. Alright, first off, there's a little bit of a weird graphical glitch, like with some of the boats in the water. That's kind of understandable, seeing as how that's a little hard to animate those. But there's also some issues like when you're driving vehicles around on the ground, sometimes the environment doesn't interact too well. Seriously, I was driving a tank and it didn't react too well to a cement pylon that was set up, one of those cement wall things. Also, sometimes audio overlaps with like discussions of people who are riding vehicles with you. When you liberate a location, there's a radio announcement, and then like if you're on the radio with another person. So sometimes the audio does overlap with each other. And then I encountered quite possibly the weirdest bug in the game. I was driving along in a regular car, and I'm turning left, and then suddenly my car disappears, and I'm standing right outside of the gas station that I was just turning by. Fortunately, there was another car there for me to grab, but I was like, okay, I'm driving along, and okay. Yeah, so realism and the laws of physics don't really apply too well to this game, but I'm aware of that, but this just seemed way out of left field, so I think they're still doing some issues. And the funniest thing is, when I first got the game, it had to do a patch install for like Far Cry Update Patch 1 point something. So hopefully these issues will be addressed in the next patch update, I'm hoping. Another issue with the sound is how I was working in a gun turret to try to take down a helicopter and some other stuff, and the gun, when it fires off, like you'll see the muzzle flashes and hear the sound stuff, but sometimes the sound was cutting out. Like, I would see the gun shooting, I would feel the shaking in the controllers, but I wouldn't hear the audio for the gun going off, so I found that a little weird. Yeah, so there are... See, and then now, another issue, if I could have this thing patched, there is no mini-map. Like, you have to actually go to the map menu to see what you're doing. Now, sometimes you'll be doing a mission where destroyable stuff is hidden on multiple levels, like first floor, second floor, sub-basement. And you'll run around, you'll come to a location, you'll see like, okay, there's something here I need to destroy, but I can't see it. I kind of wish they had like a thing that would indicate at what elevation the item was you needed to destroy. That would be kind of helpful. Yeah, so while the game does have its issues, I do think it is really good. Now, before I rented this game, I heard that on the Xbox One that there was a 20-minute load time, and I was like, okay, hopefully that doesn't apply here. It did. When I first got the game, after it installed, it took 20 minutes to load, and that's not counting the patch update. Now, the good news is, during that time, while it was loading, they had a free open roam area called Boom Island, where you could familiarize yourself with the controls, figure out how to drive, parasail, grapple hook, shoot, grenade, the whole 9 yards. Interestingly enough, in the main game, if you look around the map, Boom Island is actually accessible in the main world, so it's kind of like how I covered with the Star Wars Battlefront. It gives you a chance to warm up and experience the game while it's loading, so you're not just sitting there waiting for it to load. And as for the main game itself, because it's so huge, that's why it has to load for 20 minutes for the first time. I think there's like maybe 2 occasions where when something was loading, it took longer than normal. But I think that was just it was such a minor thing, but I just still noticed it. But still, I like how the game tries to make sure it keeps a good load time. Yeah, so the cons aside, this is a really good game. I had much fun with it, and yeah, since I've never played the previous installments, I don't know who it was. I don't know the extent of who was involved from the previous segments, but I think that the cast from the first 2 games are involved in this third game. If I get the chance, I'll look up video footage of the first game on YouTube, and I don't know, maybe I could rent or find the second game used for like a really low price. I'm tempted to give it a shot, seeing as how Yahtzee did give the game such a high review. And I'm going to give the game a good review too. It has its bugs, it has its issues, but I think a patch update or 2 and it'll be good. And we here at Aperture Labs, we at Aperture Gaming, we give Just Cause 3 a solid 8 out of 10. It's fun, it's destructive, and like I said, I've been playing other games for so long where I thought, where's the crouch button? But yeah, this taught me a new thing. It taught me the benefits of running and gunning, of bedlam and mayhem, of craziness and explosions. And I like the variety of stuff you can do. I like like I said, the challenges, the variety of weapons, the variety of vehicles. And I like how you collect stuff. This is a really great game. I think, like I said, it needs a little polish, but it's really good for right now. If you get a chance, rent it. If you really like this game, then I think you'll rent it multiple times, or you'll just want to buy it. If you don't like it, well, that's your choice. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode. Thank you for watching Aperture Gaming, and this has been Test Subject 1 through 37 saying thank you for watching, and as always, game on!